seated.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Hadnot versus Mathews.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone.
How you doing?
Ms. Hadnot, you are here today because you say Mr. Mathews' wife is the reason he's denying paternity of your son. Yes, Your Honor. Now, you claim that Mrs. Mathews was once your best friend since 6th grade, but then you told her you were pregnant by Mr. Mathews and she immediately conceived a child with him and then married him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mathews, you claim you have doubts about being the biological father of Miss Hadnot's son because you say she has a reputation for sleeping around.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you state that you and your wife hope to put an end to your connection with her when today's results are revealed.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Miss Hadnot, tell me how this even came to be. So, at first, you were in a relationship.
Yes.
With Mr. Mathews.
It wasn't a relationship. It was just like a friendship, and then we ended up sleeping together. But she was at the house where we slept together at.
And so she knew you were interested in him, or you guys had taken your friendship to the next level.
Yes. I feel that she just trifling because she knew from the front that we was together.
How long were you all together in that way?
Just that one time.
How long? Just that one time?
Yes.
Mr. Mathews?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you first had an intimate relationship with Miss Hadnot.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you started one with Miss Mathews.
Well, me and
her best friend.
We've been me and my wife been best friends before that.
Your Honor, he said they was cousins. Ma'am, both of them.
Wait a minute, they told you they were cousins?
Yes, she said they was cousins living in the same house because he had another girlfriend at the house where they was at.
That cousin stuff, I never thought James was my cousin. I never said James was my cousin.
But she had no idea you were a threat at all because in her mind, you all were...
In the initial beginning, I was not a threat.
So you're saying this really caught you off guard?
Yes.
You were clueless about
the whole situation.
I want to understand the circumstances surrounding when you found out you were pregnant.
I found out
and you immediately knew it was Mr. Mathews?
No.
Okay. Tell me what happened.
I slept with somebody else around the time that I slept with James, that I conceived my son. I slept with another dude. I can admit that. But I also, when James never asked me.
How many days apart did you sleep with this other man?
2 days or 3 days is one of those two.
Don't even know.
So why today are you so convinced that he's the father?
I'm not convinced. I know for a fact who I slept with.
I'm trying to understand.
She's always been after money, Your Honor. It's been times where she, can you take me here? Can you take? It's always been about money, finances. She's a gold digger.
So you not only felt like she could have, well, she did sleep with the guy she admits to. You said could be some other people too that she's not admitting to.
Well, if she didn't tell me about that, what else secrets are under the closet? Straight to the point, I want to know if this son is my son.
What is that doubt based on?
From her mother calling me at the hospital, the name.
And what made you doubtful about that?
Well, if somebody's saying they having I'm supposed to be the father, you gonna have them witness to be at the birth. You calling me after somebody else, and then not her mama calling me, saying, "Oh, you have a baby boy." Why ain't she telling me, okay?
How am I supposed to call him and tell him I had a baby after surgery?
Well, she called me the day before and told me what time, and then I called her earlier that day.
But Miss Hadnot, now, you also didn't tell him that there was another man.
I sure didn't, and I can admit to it. But if you had doubts, you should have been and told me a long time ago. Instead of sitting there talking about it's your baby.
You should have been telling me you had slept with another
You didn't
man.
ask.
I'm supposed to know.
I wasn't in a relationship with you in the first place. You was a one-night stand, and that's what it was.
Yeah, well, so obviously if I was a one-night stand, who else was a one-night stand? So that's why I have doubt. So what kind of woman is that, Your Honor?
And Terry knew the whole time her dang self.
I knew that she was pregnant because, like I said, we were friends. We were close. We lived together. We spent most of our time together and everything. And when she got pregnant, she came and she told me that she was pregnant. I made the mistake and that I was wrong in the beginning for sleeping with James. I didn't intend to fall in love, have a baby, and marry James. That was not my intention at all, and to hurt my best friend.
Yeah, but she has all this going on, and she was my everything. Terry was my heart. I was there for Terry through all her stuff.
And
no matter what. Her grandma, through everything, with her grandpa, all that, I was there for Terry.
Yeah, she was.
And she was there for me, but she betrayed me. So what type of friend is that? No matter what I did and what I did wrong, she was supposed to have my back no matter what. and she still
And I
slept with him.
I was always there. And to this day, and what she don't understand, I still have her back to this day.
Mr. Mathews,
Yes, Your Honor.
you had two best friends pregnant at the same time.
Yes, ma'am. Not intentionally, but I did.
So, Ms. Hadnot, your best friend comes to you and says, I'm pregnant by the same guy too? What did you think?
To tell you the truth, Your Honor, and I told her straight up, you know what? You can have that, because I never wanted him.
Yeah, so what was the big deal in the first place? You never wanted me. You pushed me
It
away
don't matter.
since
That
high
was my
school.
best friend. You made me lose my best friend because
I
of
didn't
you.
do nothing. I didn't do nothing. You didn't want me.
She pushed him away. He did
He
have
always
feelings for
had
her,
my back no
and
matter what.
Always.
No matter what. And that's the reason
Always.
why I feel that we here today.
Always.
Because he said he getting pushed in the ear that, oh, that might not be your baby. Because
I've
of the
never
fact that
seen-
she
So
mad
So you
that
feel like
she know I
Ms.
can get him if I
Mathews is
wanted him.
almost fueling
I've
his
never,
doubt.
not once, denied or said that Jamari was not James' son. I get on James when he get to getting in his feelings about his doubts. And I'll get to saying, James, let's go get Jamari. Let's do this and let's do that. I push that. I'm the one that goes to the door,
But
picks
that's
up
the point.
Jamari and
She
does
shouldn't
that
have
stuff.
to do it.
I've
He should
never
be a man
done.
and come tell me himself.
Well, the
It
type
shouldn't
of
have to go through Terry.
Type of
When he
environment they got,
wants
I'm
it,
trying to stay out
he
of
don't
trouble.
even call and ask for my son.
That's not
I
true.
have to call and ask James, do he want his son? Otherwise, he don't see my son unless he goes to his mama house.
That ain't true.
And so, Ms. Hadnot, in your statement to the court, you stated that you're trying to break a cycle. You want to make sure your son has his father.
Yes,
Because
because
you-
my son asks me all the time. He always asks. He even knows everything that's going on. And it's bad when a 4-year-old can come to you and say, Mama, why my daddy don't want me? Why my daddy want a DNA test for me? That doesn't make sense.
Well, obviously-
He's an innocent child. He didn't do nothing to James or to Terry.
You grew up without your
I didn't
father.
have my father at all while I was growing up, at all. Or my mother. So I don't want my son to not have his father. He's supposed to have both of his parents. We need to learn how to get along for Jamari, no matter what. No matter who I'm with, and no matter if he with Terry. We got to get along.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Mr. Mathews, what do you
doubt,
have
I have
there
a
for
calendar.
me?
I have a calendar
Jerome,
that
can you
shows
hand me that evidence,
Where-
please?
when Terry went to the doctor's office with us, they asked her doctor.
Ms.
asked her-
Mathews, you were there with Ms. Hadnot. So
Yes,
we
ma'am.
got best friends at the doctor together.
Yes, ma'am.
And explain this calendar to me.
Well, the 15th was the day I heard her tell the nurse that was her last menstrual cycle. The July 25th was the day that they actually slept together.
July 28th would be the day she slept with the other man that you admitted that you slept with.
Yes, I admit.
So the point is that the entire doubt that you were speaking about, Mr. Mathews, rests in the fact this is all during the times when you're most fertile in the ovulation.
Yes, ma'am. I did the research. I have some paperwork up there that I sent with the calendar about
He's
ovulation.
lying and she lying too.
Your research, what you presented to the court is the fact that, yes, that women can ovulate anywhere between day 11 and day 21 of their cycle, and that's a woman's most fertile time. Okay, I appreciate this research. However, what you're trying to say is that you don't believe that your sexual encounter with her was during the time when she was truly ovulating and most fertile.
When she was last menstrual cycle was the 15th, there's no way possible it could be pointing to me.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I don't believe, being a woman and knowing a little bit about that biology, that you out of the clear. We'll say it like that. But I will give you this. I believe if this is true, and she says it's true that she slept with another man 2 to 3 days later, you have reason to doubt. So the bottom line is the baby comes. You didn't call him.
No, I didn't call him at all. My mom
When
called
do
him.
you let him know?
My mom
Mr.
called
Matt?
him right after I got out of surgery.
Okay, and when do you see your child? Because at this point, you're still believing this is my child.
As soon as her mother called me, I went to the hospital.
Okay, and from that point on, were you a part of the child's life?
I did all what I could.
He came to the hospital. He sat there with my son. He was sitting there watching him, looking at him sleep, all this. Then he told me himself Portia, I'm going to take care of my baby, and I'll call myself and put on myself on child support, which my mama dialed the child support number. James talks to them himself and put his own self on child support.
No.
But he sit there and act like he didn't do nothing, like I'm the one who did everything. He put his own self on child support. He signed the birth certificate by himself. I didn't do nothing to him.
No.
So he
all
signed
him.
the birth certificate in
and
the
I
hospital.
have it.
Jerome, can you hand me that evidence, please? So it's your contention that when he came to the hospital after getting the news that the baby was here, he came up to the hospital and voluntarily signed the birth certificate?
Yes.
I do see your name here.
He even put himself on child support.
No, that's a lie from the pit of hell. I'm sorry.
You put yourself on child support, James, and they'll call, you
That's
can
a
call
lie
and ask
from the pit of
yourself.
hell.
You say that's not true?
Yes.
No, ma'am.
Well, what happened?
He told him to
sir?
take $268 out his check.
That's a lie, because I wasn't making that much at the time.
James,
Tell the truth, I'm be honest.
I get $176 every 2 weeks now. At that time, I was getting more than that.
Okay, the
But
point
James
is,
put his own self on child
That's a
support.
lie.
But when he called himself getting with Terry, then all of a sudden,
you got
oh, he don't want to pay child
So
support.
why is
Oh,
everything
so
going
let
wrong?
me ask
Only
you
two of my
something. Let
kids
me
got
ask you
different daddy.
something.
The other four got all the same daddy. Why you
How
trying
old
to
is-
put somebody on spot?
How old
But
are you
Joe,
with that many children?
It don't matter what I got.
You don't
You
take
just
care
mad
of
because
them.
I don't want
Hold
to.
on, let's get some
I don't
order.
want
Let's
to.
get some order. I
Ma'am.
want to understand. Did you voluntarily say that I will pay child support?
No, ma'am. I said I will take care of my baby. I will not.
Okay.
I will not say I'm gonna pay this much money. So I bought a car seat. I had diapers. I had. She didn't have nothing.
He hasn't stepped up to
Did he
nothing.
buy those things?
All he did was buy the car seat.
He signed the birth certificate.
Yes.
And you say he put himself on child
He
support.
put himself on child
How much
support.
more stepping does he
Oh, he
have
has
to do?
stepped up. My son has glaucoma in both of his eyes.
It's
And my
one of
son
them.
had 7 surgeries. He ain't been to one. Not one
Have
of them.
you been to
I've been
any
by
of
myself
these
and
surgeries?
his mama.
No, ma'am. I have not been to any surgeries.
So what kind of man is that?
I got doubts. Well, first
So
of all, I
wait,
didn't know
wait.
about every surgery.
He got doubt, but his mama has been to almost every surgery.
You say you
with
have
me.
doubts,
Yes, ma'am.
but your mother goes to the surgery to support.
Yes.
my mother does.
His mother and his grandma.
Now, Mr. Mathews, you got to explain this to me because when you show up and you seemingly take responsibility,
Yes, ma'am.
so why is it when there are health issues, you're not present?
I have my doubts.
So the doubt,
That's me messing up. I'm saying, if you want to make me see the bad guy, okay, I didn't go.
I'm not making you seem like anything. I'm trying to understand the facts. What happened and what did not happen.
I have not been to any surgeries. I
And
haven't
you
known
were
about all
saying
the
that the
surgeries.
reason why you took a step back is because you just began to have more and more doubt.
I had doubts at the hospital when her mother called me and she didn't call me. I had doubts when it came, his name was hyphenated, Mathews
His name is
Jones.
hyphenated, and he still signed the birth
Can I
certificate,
finish?
and I got
Can
it.
I finish? Can we have some type of order?
No.
And this
It's
calendar.
been hyphenated the whole time.
I have a
Mr.
calendar.
Mathews, I was about to ask you all the same question. Can we have some type of order?
Yes, ma'am.
Because
Yes, ma'am.
this is what we call a mess.
Yes, ma'am. I have
Now,
one
I'm
doubt.
listening.
He's
I'm
mad
whether
at
or
the
not-
fact that I don't want him and never
No, I
have
don't.
want him. He always texting me talking about, Portia, why you don't want me?
Okay, if
what did I
why
do
would
to you?
She want me to do something.
No,
But she
I don't
wanna-
want you to do nothing because you never have.
Oh.
I've been having Jabari by myself, and I'm gonna keep having him by
What about the
myself.
child support?
I'm done. Yo,
What
look,
about all
you
the-
quit your job so you won't have to pay for him.
That's stupid. I wouldn't do that because they still
What,
gonna chase
James?
me.
Okay,
I'm
all
not
right.
the ignorant one. I got a
Yeah,
high school diploma.
back-
Hold on.
Now what?
Let's get some order. Ms. Hadnot, you stood here and admitted that you made a huge mistake. You slept with 2 men in a very close proximity, and you really didn't know who your child's father was. And I know what it means to have best friends. I know what it means to have that person that loves your beautiful and your ugly, that you can tell the good and the bad and the really bad too. I look at you and I just see how lost you are, and I feel for you because, as you say, you didn't really have your mother or your father, you just had your grandmother. I can only imagine how important your friends were to you. So it wasn't just like my best friend slept with the guy I was kind of dealing with or having a child with. It was like my sister did it.
Yes, Your Honor.
But I have to ask you, though, you understand why he has some doubt, right?
Yeah, I do.
And that could kind of mess with his head all the time of just, well, me, then another guy 2 days
Yes,
later.
ma'am. That's exactly
But
what
that
it is.
has nothing to you asking me, Portia, why you don't like me? Portia, why you don't want to be with me?
You
All
feel
that,
like
it
his
don't have nothing to do
questions-
with it.
You feel like his questions,
Yes.
the things that he's talking to you about, are not just about
Jamari.
your son. It's about the lack of closure he
Yes.
has in terms of whatever you all might have had.
Yes, Your Honor. I do.
The only way we can move forward on
by
this
getting his
issue
results.
regarding Jamari's paternity and whether or not Mr. Mathews is or is not, in fact, his father, is to get the results.
Yes.
Jerome, do you have the results?
Certainly do.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Hadnot versus Mathews, when it comes to the paternity of 4-year-old Jamari Mathews Jones, Mr. Mathews, you are the father.
Thank you. I told you. I hate you. I promise.
Okay, you can leave
I'm
now.
done. I don't want my son to be around you.
Hold on.
Leave now.
Now, Ms. Hadnot, you just stood here and said that you want to break the cycle. You didn't have a
broke it.
father in your life.
Yes.
And you want to make sure your son has his father. And then as soon as the court reads the result, the first thing out of your mouth is, I don't want you to have anything to do with him. I'll
I
just
don't.
keep being by myself. I think you're hurt, and I think you have a right to be hurt. You had your ace that you always thought you had in your corner, which was Ms. Mathews. And I know what it means to have best friends. And then if that person betrays you, they were your family.
Yes.
You as an adult are having a hard enough time trying to figure it out and deal with it on a daily basis.
Yes.
You can't put that on him. It's too much. So I respectfully suggest and encourage you to begin to talk to these two people outside the presence of your son. And if they're married and they're married now and that's his stepmother, have a relationship with Ms. Mathews. Don't let that hurt and that sense of betrayal stop you from being the mother that you need to be and that you're supposed to be. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to all of you. Court is adjourned.
I think Judge Lake was being truthful, that I do need to start working it out between me, James, and Terry, and that I need to go ahead and go step forward with it for my son's sake.